Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gavinsky's Tutorials. Today I'm going to take a look, do a walkthrough and review of Elastic Osc or Elastic Oscillator by Oliver Gretschke. So that's the developer of Molly Looper, Elastic Drums, Elastic Effects, Elastic Melody. He also worked on Flip with Andrew Huang. And so this is based on Mutable Instruments Plaits Eurorack module, a super legendary module. And so this will be available for Windows and Mac apparently, but at the moment it's just available for iPad and iPhone. And it works standalone or as an AUV3. So here I'm using it as an AUV3 on my iPad, loaded inside the host app AUM. You'll find a video on how to use AUM on my channel called Everything You Need to Know About AUM, or almost everything you need to know about AUM. So the key thing here really is the simplicity and the performance element, plus the massive amount of oscillator types that you have. So you've got 24 oscillator types. So you can see the names of the oscillators here on the XY pad as I change each one. So there's 24 in this. Plaits had 16. So you got all sorts of stuff, you know, FM, analog style, additive. You got physical modeling stuff and whatnot. You can do percussive sounds, you can do melodic stuff. And the original was monophonic, but this is polyphonic. Let me just check my volume level there, turn this up a little bit. So yeah, this can do up to 8 voices. This can do up to 8 voices of polyphony. But yeah, really the key thing is you basically tweak. There's just 4 parameters for each oscillator. Now that's, you know, copying the design of Plaits. But what you got here is you've got it in an XY pad. So basically you can have 2 of those parameters in the XY pad. Okay, so you'll map one to the Y-axis, one to the X-axis, and then you'll have 2 parameters as sliders, and you just change which one is on the XY pad and which one is on sliders by tapping here. So currently, for example, let's see, we've got a frequency parameter here on this, and what these parameters will do will be slightly different in each oscillator, by the way, and you can read about that. You know, here you have the details for each parameter, for each oscillator. As you skip through those, that information will change. So I won't go into all that stuff in this video. I want to keep it relatively short. You know, there'd be a lot of stuff to cover, but I will tweak through so you get an idea of the versatility. So here currently frequency is on that Y-axis, and then we have timbre here as a slider, and we just change that by tapping here. So now frequency is on the slider, and now timbre is on the XY pad. So that's very cool. And same here. Currently we've got morph on the X-axis. Now we change that to harmonics and tap again to change it back. So I just do a little bit of fiddling around with the XY pad here. We're not even touching the effects section at the moment. So we got a whole other XY pad over here. Different XY pads for different effects. You've got distortion, filter, modulation, i.e. chorus, a delay, and reverb. Come back to that later. So cool. Listen to that. Oh, yes. Now we're talking. Oh, yeah. Oh, that sounds so good, doesn't it? We're not even touching this low-pass gate section yet. So yeah, you see what these sliders and what the XY pad will do will really vary a lot. Again, see the help section for details. Just switched over to another preset here. So it has some very good presets, factory presets, plus different presets by different sound designers. Beautiful. This sounds like the ARP combined with the chords oscillator. Love that chords one. And then you can see here, it had the automation going there. I think I just overwrote it. Let's see. There we go. So if I press record here, I can just record in my own automation. You can stop the automation by pressing that play button and then start it by pressing play again. Clear it with the X and change the length of the automation here in settings. Can be 1 bar, 2 bars, or 4 bars. Other settings here, how much velocity will affect volume, how much velocity will affect the low-pass gate modulation, this ramp time. Let's see what that's for again, hang on. Oh yeah, right. Ramp time to switch between different engines. Small values might cause a glitch when switching modules. Right, nice. So keep a bit of that there so that we get a nice transition when switching presets. Great. Wish every app had that. You got some control over the animation here. You can turn it off if you're heavy. If there's a heavy load on your CPU. And then here we have these different outputs. So in the original, this B1 was called auxiliary. And so you can have just the main output or the auxiliary output, or both of them mixed together, or one panned hard left and one panned hard right. And so you got an ADSR envelope here, only available in some of the oscillator types though, not here, for example, in the hi-hat. And so let's talk about this low pass gate. So this is just this internal envelope. It's just a decay envelope. And so here we're setting the length of the decay. And then how much it will modulate different things. So here it's for modulating the timbre. Right? This timbre. And here we have FM modulation. So pitch bends basically. And this is related to that morph parameter, which remember will be slightly different depending on the mode. So for this mode, morph is the decay time, energy absorption. If we click to something else, maybe decay time, maybe something else. There we go, waveform and sub-level. Turn off the help. So, you know, mad sound design possibilities, but in a very compact interface. Great, huh? And so the color, that's just affecting the tone of the internal filter for this low pass gate. So if you're playing around with these knobs and you don't have any value here in decay, if you have decay turned all the way down, nothing's going to happen when you play with these. It's not the app is broken. You just got to turn this up because these are all related to having some value here. So the effects, so again, the same, you know, XY principle, just make sure you've turned up the mix for them. Otherwise you won't hear anything. So here we just have high pass or low pass filter. It just depends which direction you go. And here on the Y-axis, resonance. Chorus, depth and rate. Delay, feedback, and synced time. Just turn that down there. And then reverb. Time and damping. You have a limiter here. You could just turn it on and off like this. Here you just turn on polyphonic or monophonic, and here you're turning on the ARP. Let's see for the ARP, there's a bunch of good ARP patches by Sound of Israel. Oh yes, nice. So mode, up and down. That's just up, down, minus, not sure, actually. Played, you know, the order you've played them in, random order, chord. Oh, nice. This is great, isn't it? Here, your rate. No triplets or dotted, that's strange. What I'd like to see here is buttons, you know, normal, dotted, triplet. And then you choose which one you want, and you can have one of them or two of those options or all three. And the same would be useful up here, beside the XY pad for delay, by the way, because when you're going through the times here, it's just going between normal, triplets and dotted, and that doesn't really sound good when you do that. I mean, it depends what effect you're going for, but I would certainly like to see a little button here for each normal, dotted, triplet, and you just toggle them on and off depending on which options you want to be in here in the pad. It's not a big deal, but just a suggestion for improvement. So I finish off with my sort of final kind of review, just recapping some things and maybe adding a few things. If you enjoyed the video, everybody, please do smash the like and maybe write a comment for the algorithm and stuff. You'll find links as well, that you can use to support my channel, because this is very underpaid work. YouTube ad revenue is almost nothing. I have, very few sponsorships from devs. This is not a sponsored video or anything. So I really, really need more support. So you'll find links in that pinned comment. Please take a look, guys, if you're a fan of the channel. If you're not a fan of the channel, of course not, I don't expect anything from you. So the pros. So I love the touch optimized interface. This is a really nice interface for an iPhone or iPad instrument. It's great. And so much packed in. I mean, that's the kind of whole idea really of Plaits. But still, different devs will implement it differently, and this is just a really, really nice interface for a touch device. Got a huge variety of sounds, great factory presets, and so the cons, I would say, it doesn't really scale properly. Like if you try and make it small, you can't see everything. So you absolutely have to adjust it manually. I mean, it can be adjusted, it just doesn't really snap in a very nice way. You got to play around a little bit. But you see, you can make it smaller, and you can have the keyboard in there at a small size as well. But I've seen much better resizing. For example, the way Fred Anton Corvest, FAC, does his resizing, that is like top tier iOS app resizing, so it could be better in that aspect. No way to hide the keyboard in the AUV3. I'd like to see that, and I know that lots of people like to see that. But I am glad to see that, excuse me, you've got pitch bend and mod wheel in there. That's great. So yeah, a bit mystified why there's an import option but no export option, and I just don't know if this is batch or just one by one. I wish the randomizer wasn't hidden in the preset browser. I'd like to have that as a button on the main UI. Although it's got a randomizer, it's got no undo and redo functionality. Those are useful if you have a randomizer. They're useful anyway. But I do think they're difficult to implement maybe, which is why most devs don't bother putting undo and redo. It's not MPE, that's definitely a pity. I mean, there's not that many good MPE instruments anyway on iOS. So in some ways, I'm kind of glad when I see something's not MPE, because I know I'm just not going to be disappointed. Because the chances are, if it's MPE, it's going to be a crap implementation, and I'll just be frustrated by it. So if you are going to do MPE, do it right. But it would be nice if it had MPE, and that lack of MPE means that for people who want MPE, they might prefer the Brains in-app purchase inside Terra Pro if they want to have Plaits on their iPad, but an MPE version. Then you go for that for sure. But, this has a much better interface for a touchscreen in many ways than Terra Pro does. I really enjoy the XY pads. I love the built-in automation system. Having XY pads for all the different effects as well is really fun. The great thing about Plaits having just these 4 parameters is, you know, you can just so quickly dial in different interesting sounds and discover very interesting sounds very, very quickly. It's really enjoyable to work with. So yeah, I'll put you know, link to the App Store and stuff in the pinned comment. Yeah, thanks to the people who are supporting me using those various, you know, ways that you find in the pinned comment of my videos, the support links. Thank you so much, guys. And I hope you find the video useful, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, we just got to finish with the chord one. I love that one. Beautiful. Okay, thank you guys for watching. See you soon. Cheers.